So, you know.
You were in school, you were just being a kid,
Yeah.
and who fucked you up?
Well, I definitely wouldn't consider myself fucked up by any means.
No, oh no, I consider you like, you got your shit together. Look,
I know that there
and
was.
you're absolutely honest.
Yeah, I have no other way to be. I can only be myself, so I
I,
can't believe I'm crying on camera. But
why? It's like child of God right now. No pretending, no like, but you know, you're letting us inside. Thank you for that. But tell us what's going on in your head.
I have, despite the tears, I've never been happier in my entire life than I am now. This place and the people that I surround myself with are.
This place, you make this place sound like it's a healing zone.
It almost is. It almost is. I know that it's because I can be accepted here and not judged.
Who would judge you? I mean, we fucking love you. I mean, you're just like, I mean, every guy out there is like, oh, she's gay. Oh my god, yeah. And I've been spending like fucking $12,000 a year on her.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't stop. But
I mean, on a funny note, come on, guys, like, she doesn't like dick. Oh my God, what could I do to change that? Like, how much would it cost, Would I have to earn a master's degree and get a better job,
do you really blame me though? Most guys, do you really blame me for liking women? That's
Well,
my only comment. So
yeah, I do blame you. I do blame you. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I really am. Okay, because I'm a guy, and guys like to fucking pull out their sword, whether it's metaphorically below the belt or the slap of the hand or whatever. And who am I waking up next to? Who am I driving with when I fucking go to oh my God, I'm gonna start crying now. Who am I driving with when I'm fucking driving across the country doing these interviews? Who am I waking up next to? Who am I showering? Who am I talking with? I've been eating breakfast alone for the last few weeks and shit like that. But like, if I wanted, I could meet a girl, and hopefully, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, if I could, maybe I'd be lucky enough to be listening to The Cure while driving to Cheyenne with you. If I was lucky enough, maybe I'd be like, come home to the hotel and see you laying out by the pool and be like, hey, what's up? Oh, I'm done with my interviews today. Hey, want to go check out Superman at the IMAX? Or if I was with you, I'd be like, you've never been on a cable car in San Francisco? No fucking way. Well, we're going to go on a cable car, and then we're going to go to Fisherman's Wharf, and then we're going to go home, and if we want, we can just like rent a movie and chill and like look at a view. But like, I can't have that. Okay? I'm not going to ever have that because you're you, and you got this terrific girl, and you got this partner, and you're in Salt Lake, and you're a dancer, and you know what? I don't know if I can handle the fact that fucking 18,000 guys love you and want your autograph and want to read your book. So, who would fucking judge you? Who would fuck with you in school? What guy would not like you? And can you explain that? Because guess you've got me dealing with my own issues now. And that's what you would do to some guy. You might fuck with our head.
well, judgment comes from all directions. My family is great, as good as they can be about my sexuality. I think they kind of know that this is what I do for a living. It's never been completely discussed, but it's been kind of mentioned here and there, so I think they know.
Okay, so Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, just won't talk about who you woke up with this morning?
No, well, they're accepting of my wife. My parents now live back in South Carolina again, so I'm the only one of my family here in Salt Lake still. And we just recently went on a vacation together in Florida for my little sister's graduation. And my wife came with me, and my family loves her and, accepts her. They don't accept our relationship per se, like if it came down to us going and visiting, they wouldn't let us stay in the same room,
When
that
you were
type
in the
of
next
thing.
room fucking your partner, was that difficult with your parents there?
Actually it wasn't for me, just because I know that I'm not doing anything wrong, and if they have a problem with it, then that's their issue, it's not mine. I know that I'm still loved by them unconditionally, and I know that God still loves me, I still have
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive. Absolutely positive.
Prove it.
Prove it. Um, Blessings beyond my wildest dreams. He's provided so much for me, and I don't put it to anyone else but him. So I don't give anyone else that credit, not even myself.
So you still pray?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm actually very spiritual. I don't consider myself religious, but I'm very
Tell us the last
spiritual.
3 times you prayed.
Last 3 times I prayed before I did this interview. Was one.
Wow. What do you do? Do you put your hands together and close your eyes? Do you take a long walk? Do you like
It's kind
get
of
in the
more.
car and close the doors?
I guess it's kind of more of a meditation thing. It depends. I believe that you can pray wherever, wherever you are. And there's times when I, am driving down the road and I just decide I want to say a little prayer. And there's times where, I can sit and be just to myself. I don't have to put my hands together. I don't have to get on my knees. I don't have to, as the Mormons do, I don't have to cross my arms. God hears me no matter what, even if it's not verbal, even if it's just a mental thought. So.
Are you sure God hears you?
Positive he does, yeah. I know he does. I've had too many answered prayers for him not to.
So, Christ is out there?
God, I think God is in everything and in everyone.
I didn't say God, I said
Christ.
the Son of God.
Christ, I believe Christ is, this is where my Baptist, background comes into play. I believe Christ died for us. Whenever someone says, how can you believe in Christ and how can you believe in his sacrifice, but at the same time be a stripper and be a lesbian, my response to that is simply that, if you read the Bible and you read it clear enough, states that Christ ate with the sinners and the publicans, the people that everyone else outcast, all the religious people, he didn't want anything to do with. He shunned the Pharisees and the religious people, that thought that they were high and mighty because they were serving God, and he sat and had dinner with the prostitute, and
Oh, so you're justifying it. So I'm trying to get at, like, there's this guy and he comes down because he sees what he sees and it's not going right, and like he's like, Dad, I'm gonna do something about this. And he comes down here and he makes friends and he works hard and he tries to change people's lives and he does everything that he possibly can to just teach people about the love that their Lord has for them. And then one day, like, every single fucking trusted friend like turns on him and just basically just spits on him, hides, runs, climbs in the fucking trees while he gets kicked, while every single inch of his flesh gets fucking torn from him, crown of thorns gets fucking nailed to his head, and he's just getting, I mean, honestly, he should have fucking died from the beating alone, let alone, being nailed to this tree. And you're worthy of that?
I don't think any of us are worthy of that. I think that,
Are you worthy of that? Are you? Like, this what you do and who you wake up with, and
I think that what Christ did shows his unconditional love, and that regardless of who you are and what you do and what kind of life you live, that he loves you regardless.
so you really believe in Jesus Christ?
Absolutely. Yep. And I would never deny it.
Yeah? You would carry that cross?
Absolutely.
Give me an example.
Fighting the stereotype, the stereotype of two different worlds, the stripper world and then the lesbian world. I don't look like a lesbian. So I fight that stereotype even within that circle, you know, and then fighting the stereotype of,
What does a lesbian look like?
you know, you'd be surprised.
No,
I
I mean,
actually,
what does a lesbian look different on the West Coast and the East Coast? Do the Boston lesbians look different than
do
the
you know,
ones in
I
Melbourne?
honestly couldn't tell you about that kind of a situation, but I do know that when I first started dating my wife, I got comments from people that, oh, you're really not gay, because if you were, you wouldn't look the way you look, you wouldn't dress the way you dress, you know, and my response to that is I don't have to prove to myself every morning when I wake up in the morning that, oh, I look like a dude, yeah, must be gay, you know, like, it's not, I go against those stereotypes, and a lot of lesbians in Utah that are not more masculine have to fight that. There's a couple of other people that I know that are feminine, and we fight that stereotype.
You're not accepted in school. You're not accepted in the church. You weren't accepted in the gay
I
community.
sound like such an outcast. You know, I'm accepted by the ones that I care to be accepted by. And
you don't let it bother you? Who the fuck are you? I mean,
know, I am who I am, and if you don't accept who I am, then I don't need
come
you
on,
to be
chill.
a part of my life.
Where's like the cool
but,
person?
You know,
Like, don't get out. Don't bring your fucking claws out. But
No.
like, who are you? Like, you just become that strong, or you're just like, fuck, I'm used to it. I'm just used to it.
I
It's
think
like,
it's adversity for long periods of time. You know, after such a lengthy period of time of dealing with it, you just learn to let the people in your life and surround yourself with the people that do love you for who you are and don't judge you for your appearance or for what you do. Or
oh, you know, I was gonna say, like with the Left Behind series and your religious edge in the book, I'm basically impersonating a pastor, and that'll piss people off. I mean, how did that affect you?
I thought it was awesome. I was in there reading it. I thought my first thought, honestly, was my dad's going to hate this book. That was my first thought. But at the
Why?
same time, because, you know, a lot of the things that you said I just read the first chapter on the homosexuality, of course. I mean, it's the very first chapter in there. And,
I know, man. How did that rock you? Because I fucking hear that nationwide, or if I'm on a train from Rome to Switzerland, I fucking hear it from a guy sitting across from me. Homosexuality is a sin. Whoa!
yeah, no.
Exclamation
I've heard it all
point.
my life, you know, and it completely is
But your dad accepts you.
Accurate,
Why wouldn't he fucking
100%.
accept the first sentence of the book? I mean, did you realize
Yeah.
the first sentence of the book? It took like fucking 16 months to find that voice.
Yep. I mean, it just, my dad accepts me. I wouldn't say accepts. He puts up with the fact that I'm a lesbian. You know, I've been out for probably 6 years now, and we've been through our ups and downs in our relationship, and he's come to the conclusion that, you know, this isn't a phase, this isn't something I'm going to change and, you know, grow out of, that this is who I am, and if he wants me as a part of his life.
So
And
6 years ago, you were still dating Dick?
No, 6 years ago I was married. I married the first guy I ever dated.
Gotcha.
And separated. And
Were you straight or gay when you started dancing?
gay. I was in a relationship with a woman. I've been dancing for 3 years now.
Was
so.
it hard to be in the dressing room with all these hot girls?
You know, I'm still a woman. Despite the fact that, yes, I work around a lot of hot women, you know, who are half naked all the time, I'm still a woman. You know, we're not visual as much as physical.
So if I'm a straight man and you're a gay woman, don't we have the same tastes? Aren't we looking for the same things?
We do have the same taste, but at the same time, I don't think like a man. I still think like a woman does.
You're going to have to explain that, because I'm under the impression that if we were both in that dressing room and there were 6 girls around us, that we would still be feeling the same chemical vibe and attraction towards these girls that are half naked and baby oil with like perfume that's supposed to stop you in your tracks.
Well, it's like...
Last night I went to a club and I had my back turned while I was reading. Sarah gave me like these pages to read from to update me on the culture here in Utah. And I could fucking smell girls before I heard their high heels.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm exactly the same way. But
So
at the same time, let's take, for instance, a straight woman. Straight woman doesn't see a guy and automatically want to fuck every guy they see, you know what I mean? I'm the same way, because it's not, women think differently, they feel differently, they react differently than men do, and I'm still a woman even though I'm attracted to women. So just because, you know, there's an attractive woman standing next to me who's half naked doesn't mean I want to have sex with her. It just means, you know, I build friendships quicker than I do sexual relationships because I'm a female, and that's the way women typically are.
you sound like you have a lot of self-control. Is that the no?
I do.
I'm honestly,
You know,
because you're giving me a lot of credit by saying I have that much self-control. I don't, and a lot of men and women don't, and a lot of gay women don't. Okay, they would be in that room just like, here's my number, please, please use it whenever you feel like you need to.
I am. First off, I'm very monogamous, and I've been in my relationship for going on 2 years now, and just I don't think that way. You know, yes, when I'm single, I keep my eyes open and keep my eyes peeled, but I'm very laid back. I'm not an aggressor by any means. I don't, you know, feel as though I have to, you know, go out and attack in order to get, you know, and I think a lot of men have that mentality. I'm not saying everyone does. I'm just saying that there's quite a few that do. Me, on the other hand, I'm just a little bit more casual about it, you know, but I've been in a relationship for a while now, and it just, you know, I love my wife to death, and I find no one more attractive than her, so.
But you tease these guys as if they have a choice that, like, maybe at the end of the night, maybe they'll be lucky and you'll sit across the table from Denny's with them. And
it's my job, and if they ask, I never lie. I'm completely honest with them. In fact,
oh my God!
In fact, a guy last night asked me to go to what would it take for me to go to dinner with him, and I straight up told him, I said, you know what, I'm in a relationship, and I appreciate the offer, but I'm in a relationship. If they ask, I'm completely honest about it. So if they still choose to, you know, pursue or whatever they're thinking themselves, that's their own choice. At that point, I don't have any guilt regarding it.
And you're sure this is okay with Christ? Christ, yeah. Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I do. Because he provided me with the ability to do this for a living.
Well, okay, you're going to have to explain that one, because
he gave me the body, he gave me the mentality to not throw myself into this job where I lose myself in it, because there's a lot of people that do, you know.
Sounds like Christian porn to me. Well, the term porn means to arouse or excite,
right? As
in the Greek pornography, and then Christian would be that label. And you sound like you're a fucking combination of contradictions.
I definitely am. I you know, if you wrote down the categories of what I fit into, they definitely all contradict each other. But at the same time, I am that's on the extreme. If you have an open mind like I do, I feel as though I do, and a lot of people that I work with do, you know, it's okay to have a religious belief. It's okay to have a religious basis to who you are. And in fact, you know, it's encouraged here. You know, it's encouraged to find your spirituality, you know. And I feel as though I'm spiritual, and I feel as though I am sexy, and I feel as though I am gay, you know, and it's okay to be all of those things.